Good afternoon, my name is Felipe. I'd like to invite to subscribe in this channel. Today we're going to continue the study of international logistics. If you like the video, give us a like. Don't forget to support this video with donations. Start the notifications. Give us a like. Thank you very much. Let us start. Air cargo documentation. Because air traffic moves so much quicker than CC shipments, documents, invoices, packets are typically attached to the consigned copy of the airway bill set. The documents travel with the cargo unless baking is involved. Those documents arrive at the same time as the freight to further expedite the clearance process. Goods are often consigned directly to the custom house broker. The plane arrives, the broker is contacted, and he picks up the document and arranges clearance. It should also be noted that there are no negotiable airway bills. All airway bills are straight consignments. Someone must be shown as consignee. Airports simply do not have the physical room to accommodate traffic waiting for bank releases. If there are documents against payment, the shipper should consign goods directly to the bank. Sometimes a shipment must be traced. Increasing air cargo shipment is a routine activity in export and import departments. What is the flight information? When did it move? When will it get there? Why did it take so long? It's a good idea to recognize that air flight is an alternative to sea flight, but that is not supersonic. The comparison to be made is between 30 days transit by sea and 3 or 4 days by air. Time has to be allowed to receive cargo, get into the airline, aboard over, deplaned, and made available to customs. When cargo travels in consolidation, tracing is facilitated by having not only the master waybill number, but also the hauser waybill. The master airway bill is that issued to the forward as the shipper. It's the only number of which the airline has knowledge. The forwarder issues individual house bills to cover each individual consignment within the consolidation covered by the master airway bill. Not all air traffic moves on a direct basis. Early mention was made of hubs. Hubs are not just our origin, they are used at destination as well. Moreover, the transport onward from the destination hub may not be by air cargo. A shipment to Paris may actually land at Amsterdam and be trucked by the airline at its expense and its own air contract equipment to Paris for clearance. A shipment to Hong Kong may be sent to Tokyo for transshipment by air to Hong Kong. Transshipments are necessary and common to maximize equipment utilization on the longest leg of the journey, line haul, whereas this may appear to delay shipments or extend transit time, as may waiting for a direct flight may take longer or cost more. This is true of traffic in consolidation as well. A large forward may have 5 or 6 reserved pallet positions on every flight to a particular destination. If all available space is preassigned to forwarders, direct IATA shipments may have to wait for space before it can move. Beginning on January 31, 1994, the Federal Aviation Administration required air freight forwarders to certify that all their shipper customers have in place security programs that meet FAA standards. Forwarders also will be required to sign in security certification documents for all shipments. In the case of customers who ship repeatedly, a single document may be filled once a year. The intent of the regulations, in part, is to shift some of the responsibility for security back closer to the source of cargo. Nearly all shipments moving internationally must be insured, and air cargo is no exception. Terms of sale determine at which point the responsibility for insurance coverage passes from the seller to the buyer. Sometimes the seller's firms or the buyer's firms as a blanket policy that covers only goods at any site or while in transit. If not, one must determine that the shipment is adequately covered. Airlines provide protection against losses that are their own fault, but only up to a certain amount of coverage, usually $9.70 per pound. If shipments are worth more than that, then an additional fee, usually ranging between 10 cents to a dollar for each additional $100 in value is charged. Note that this is not considered complete coverage. One usually purchases insurance to protect against theft, loss, breakage, and so on. One may also desire additional coverage against acts of government, war, and of terrorism and hijacking, and rates for this coverage depends on areas of the world involved. Sometimes these rates change hourly. Lufthansa offers cargo insurance for its customers and divides the world into insurance zones. Zone 1, Europe. Zone 2, Canada. In the United States, Zone 3 is all other America. Zone 4 is Asia and Oceania. Zone 5 is in Africa. In the Near East, and Zone 6 in Australia, New Zealand. A table of 6 rows and 6 columns is then used to display relative rates. Shipments within Zone 1 cost the less to insure. Shipments between Zone 4 and 5 cost 3 times as much. Air cargo issues. Air cargos have shown phenomenal growth. One issue is what will be the source of future traffic. Air cargo transport has proven to be a realistic option, especially for higher value commodities, and those particularly subject to damage. Of course, some cargoes only moved by air cargo, such as jewels, artwork, currency, perishable foods, as short-lived commodities, and certain radioactive isotopes and biological materials. This is a high correlation of the value of freight per pound and where it moves by air. Here is a figure for the 1984